13th July around noon. So this is Mormon, and a lot of the rice has booted, and many are in the milk and dough stage. Like these are in the flowering stage, and now they are in the some are in milk stage and dough stage, and then some are, well, some are maybe into the ripening stage. So I'll go there a little bit. It rained for I think an hour last night, so I'm happy that it rained. I don't have to pump out water. Be nice if I can bring this water into the rice field. Oh well, be nice someday. So the guys cleaned the rice field, so a lot of the weeds are lopped off, and it's hard to lop off all of them. So they lop off the majority of the weeds. Like one here, it's still standing. Oh well. The main thing is a lot of the weeds are lopped off. So that's flowering and pollinating. So according to Pagasa, the forecast is La Nina will be coming on late. So it's good and bad. There's always a good, and there is always a bad. So the challenges with the bad is water, and with the good, lots of sunshine, and so the ripening stage of the plants would be quite fast. So that's the good part. The bad, gotta spend more money on pumping out water to flood the field. So at this stage, the rice really need water. So thank God for rain last night. So this is Laod. I'm happy to see that the yellow tips of the leaves are mostly gone. So what did we do to improve the or mitigate the leaf being yellow? Is we gave it fertilizer as advised by that information that I read in the internet. So the solution to bacteria blight is to give it fertilizer. So what did we do? We gave it 0060 and urea. So slowly the yellow leaf tips would disappear and improve the condition of the leaves. So here this is, let's see, RC640. So they're really flowering. So they're mostly booted. There's still some that are late. However, they're budding and flowering and pollinating. So happy to see that. So this parcel is our land, and this is our neighbor. So there's lots of weeds, and then later on they'll come around and lop off the weeds, so that it doesn't become part of the harvest. So this breed is Macho 600. Later on the guys will come to clean the weeds out of the rice field. Right now they're just waiting for the weeds to get bigger and flower, and then they'll come and lop them off. So this is delayed, maybe end of August that this will be harvested. It's 12:30. I biked from San Pedro to here. Took about 20 minutes. So this is what it looked like. The this rice field was plenty of yellow, red leaf tips. I mean, there's still some. So can't really get rid of the bacterial blight. It'll be I need to rotobate the rice field early so that we can drown the bacteria. This is the neighbor. They unable to mitigate the weeds. So sadly, it appears that they'll be harvesting more weeds than rice. So they let it go. There's a what you call point of inflection where you want to do more or let it be. So they did the let it be inflection or slope. Otherwise, they would have mitigated this weed. So that's part of the point of inflection. Do something or do nothing. Steady state. So the guys, they mostly lopped off a lot of the weeds, so that's why it's like this, clean looking. I mean, you got to be patient. You got to be there in the middle of the paddies to remove the weeds. So a lot of the from what Arvin is telling me or told me, that they have mostly booted, so it's 80%. So soon it'll be 100%. So yeah, these are RC640. So I gave them funding to pump out more water. Like I mentioned, it's good and bad. It rained a lot last night. At this stage, the rice paddies need more water. So there's a point of inflection. Spend more to get more yield, or spend less to get less yield. So one has to look at that slope. So looks pretty good. I have nothing to complain about. Like it's different from last crop. It really is. So it's good. What I really wanted to achieve was to have all of the seeds all the way to the neck to be filled up, so that there's less empty shells blown out of the back of the harvester. And what I read was you gotta give it the nutrients. If you don't give it the nutrients, like split, and the 5 years of experience where I see empty shells being blown out of the harvester, was mainly the reason. One of the reason, of course, is pollination. However, most of the reason is the rice plant does not have the sufficient nutrients to fill up the seeds. So if you give it the nutrient, then it has nothing to complain about. It will do its job to fill all of the seeds best it can. So that's what I've learned so far. Last crop, this is 7 hectares, and it's 51 metric ton, or around less than 8 metric ton per hectare. So with this kind of growth and looking better than last crop, then I'm looking at perhaps 10 metric ton. Now, there's a lot of faith in God, because we don't control the weather. So if the weather decides to be a little bit more aggressive like China, then 10 metric tons is a no-go. So putting a lot of hope, and that's part of hope and pray that the expected yield of 10 metric tons will happen. Else the consequences is what come what may, you get what you get, and that's how it goes being a rice farmer. So soon, actually the expectation, based on my calculation, last week July, first week August, is the harvest time. That's the window. And of course now it is middle July, so 2 to 3 weeks we will be harvesting, hopefully. So here it's ripened mostly. Let's see where. Okay, gotta have a closer look. See, this one is quite interesting. It hasn't fully booted out, so there's still more at the neck part of the teller. So, oh well, it's not fully booted out, and yet it's gone into ripening stage. That's kind of curious. Yeah, interesting. So this one is pumping out water, and over there yonder is also pumping out water. Maybe they're also pumping water out of the creek. So watching those YouTuber farmers, and they were showing how the pineapple bend over like this, and sometimes I wish that the rice were like this, similar to theirs. So we'll see as the pineapple ripened. I'll be comparing their behavior of this rice versus the farmers from YouTube. So really quite interesting. It really is different this go around. There's still several plots with yellow leaf. Even though we broadcasted fertilizer, we need to broadcast more to improve it. And it's quite a large area with yellow leaf tips, like quite a bit. So yeah, that's a challenge. Here we're taking water from the creek, so it's running. there is plenty of water here, so we're taking water from the creek and then exhausting them into the rice field. So we start with this and then change over here. The dirt are drying up, so it's important to give it the water now. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So there's something here going on. They're about to boot. I mean, that one booted. So it might be, let's see here. I don't know when they transplanted. However, they're getting ready to boot. There are some things about these. Anyway, there's quite a bit of yellow leaf. So that's bacteria blight. And on this side, the east side, like that. Most likely, while they're pregnant, I can see. Most likely next week that they'll be booting. Well, maybe in about a week and a half. However, this one next week probably. So we'll see what it'll look like. There seem to be these leaf with white stuff to them. We'll have to find out what they are. On this plot, there's quite a bit of them. So what's with this? So I'll take a sample and look at it at the microscope. They look like they're pumping water out of the creek. And some of these, there's still the yellow tips. Oh well. So look like first week August we'll be harvesting. Same thing with this side. Some are already the ripening stage. So it's the other side, I think. Yeah. Okay. We'll see how it looks like. End of July. So this is a stem borer. Okay. That's according to Solomon. So we sprayed Prevathon. This is my cousin's rice field. It has a lot of weeds. It wasn't mitigated. They're gonna be harvesting weeds. That's sad. This is a continuation of my cousin's rice field. Sadly, it isn't being managed in a way that would give high yield. So in the Philippines, there is a moment where you reach a point of inflection, and one side of the inflection would be to do something, the other side to do nothing and let it go. In this case, it was let go. So the submersible has been running for a while now. Because it hasn't been raining, the water outflow has reduced. I mean, that's the best it can do. This bore well, it's really what you call the bottom. The sun, the bore well caved in. So the voltage is at 200 and RPM is at 4,000 and the amperage drawn is 7.3 and the wattage is 2,000 watts, 2 kilowatt. So can we increase the, nope, we cannot increase the I turned it off. So what did I do? Oh, it's program. What did I do? I did something to turn off the submer. I put it into program mode. Well, I placed the submer into program mode. So I'm just gonna let it die and then turn it on again. So now it's a lot of the seeds are on the ripening stage. So later on I'll take some samples. The thing though is there's seeds and they don't have dough, they're empty. So those empty shells rice would reduce the amount of yield, would reduce yield. So and that's the thing that I'm wanting to understand. Is how to improve yield. So I know it's having to do with nutrients. Those seeds have to be filled in. So this is what it look like. By turning off the submer and then turning it on again, it gives more outflow. And that is something I've noticed here. It seems like the bore well needs to be resting a little bit and allows the water to migrate toward the bore well. And so that's what happened. So once in a while, the submer actually needs to be turned off. So it's something to think about when I begin to program this managing water, that the water needs to be, or the bore well needs to be rested, and then after, I don't know, 10 minutes of resting, it'll turn on again. So do that over time and see how the bore well can be cleaned to give more water to be sucked out. I'm at the cementerio location. I have an obstacle of mud and I don't want to get muddy. So this is my cousins now, the cementerio. So it's okay, it looks fine. Hopefully they'll have a good harvest here. This part is the seedlings bed, so they left it like this. Interesting. Hmm. Oh wow, that's the way it is. Wish I could go and look at the next time when it's not so muddy. That's too bad. So this is the solar. I think it's 2 horsepower or 3 horsepower. I think solar. Of course, it's cloudy, so it's not pumping water out. So it's 5 o'clock. So this is Basao. The rice are these are macho. So it's they are the same ripening. Actually, almost all of the panicles are out. 90% maybe. Uh, there is an interesting variety that is mixed in with the macho and these tall ones. They're mixed in. They're not macho. So I am thinking of harvesting them and create a seedling out of them. I mean, the challenge, of course, is that these branches, they're long. However, there's empty spaces. I mean, that's way too long. Huh. Now what about the machos? How do they look like? Well, they're... Don't know. Although they look to be almost populated. This one, I guess that's the way it is. Their DNA. I like to create a rice variety from these tall ones. It'd be interesting what it is. I mean, they're like 160 centimeter. That's way tall. I mean, it's just the problem with the challenges with these. If there's strong wind, they will be toppling, being this tall. I mean, I'm 170 centimeter and this is almost my height. So I'm figuring it must be 160 centimeter tall. Like, what the hey? It's interesting. You know, it's worth creating a bin-e out of it, a rice seedling. Probably not. Just out of curiosity. I might take some and create a seedling out of them. So, interesting. Yeah, they're tall. 4 feet tall. This is Bilgia. We planted triple twos here. A mixed bag actually. Triple two, 640 and macho, I believe. Different kind of seedlings or breed variety. So there's quite a bit of stem borer. So they've sprayed Prevathon to kill off the stem borer. Right now they're on the leaf. So once they're done, they go down into the teller itself, the teller body. So it's quite important to deal with them now than later. So they went and pull off these weeds and then place them on the bond. So this pathway, or Ilocano is tambak. The English word for it is bond, B-U-N-D. So I'm walking on top of the bond, and with these weeds, the dirt. So when they pulled it off, the root system grab a hold of the mud, and they just dump them into the bond, onto the bond. So those are the root system for the weeds. So this is how hard this is. This is clay. So we planted 2.6 hectare here. This whole thing is 5 hectare. We ran out of time, so rather than stress myself out, we planted what we planted, and that's it. That's the way it goes. I mean, there's a lot of white on the leaf, and it's important that the stem borer are mitigated now, because once they're inside the teller, it's gonna destroy a lot of rice plants. So that's another challenge that needs to be managed over time. So this is the Submer. We use a 3 horsepower motor. However, the pump itself is meant for 2 horsepower. So we overpowered the pump. I ran the AC drop wire from here all the way to the engine way at the back. Next go round, I'll be putting a solar pump and place the solar panel here. That way I can reduce the cost to fund diesel. So yeah, so that's what it looked like. Beautiful weather, cool. Maybe there might be some rain. So it's nice and airy right now. It's cool. So thanks for watching.